Have you ever been in a room full of people, maybe at a family gathering or a social event, and still felt a deep, quiet sense of being alone? Or perhaps you've spent an evening scrolling through social media, seeing posts of friends laughing, or traveling, only to feel more disconnected than ever. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone in feeling this way. Loneliness can weigh heavily, especially for women over 50, as life brings changes that shake up who we are and how we connect with the world. Today, we're diving into the wisdom of Dr. Tracey Marks, a board-certified psychiatrist with over 20 years of experience helping women navigate mental health challenges. She's shared powerful insights on her YouTube channel and in her books, like Why Am I So Anxious?, about how loneliness affects women and what we can do about it. Based on her teachings, we're going to explore 5 common mistakes that can deepen loneliness in women after 50, and, more importantly, the practical steps you can take to build a life filled with connection, purpose, and joy. Let's start by unpacking what loneliness really means, because it's not just about being by yourself. Dr. Tracey Marks explains that loneliness is that aching feeling of disconnection, like there's a gap between you and the people or purpose in your life. It's not about how many friends you have or how often you're around others. It's about whether you feel truly seen and understood. Research from the National Institutes of Health backs this up, showing that up to 30% of adults experience loneliness, with women over 50 facing higher risks. Why is this age group so vulnerable? Well, life after 50 often comes with big shifts. Your children might have left home, leaving your days quieter than they've ever been. You might be retiring or scaling back a career that once gave you structure and identity. Relationships, like marriages or friendships, can change or fade, and even your body feels different with menopause or aging. These transitions can leave you wondering who you are now and where you fit in. Dr. Marks emphasizes that loneliness isn't just an emotional struggle, it's a health concern. The U.S. Surgeon General has called it a public health epidemic, linking it to serious risks like a 29% higher chance of heart disease, a 31% increased risk of stroke, and a 50% greater likelihood of dementia. Loneliness can also fuel anxiety and depression, creating a cycle where you feel too overwhelmed to reach out, which only makes the isolation worse. But here's the good news. Dr. Marks teaches that while loneliness is common, it's not inevitable. Certain habits, what she calls mistakes, can make it worse, but by recognizing and changing them, you can reclaim your sense of connection. Let's dive into the first mistake she highlights: neglecting self-care. When you think of self-care, you might picture a spa day or a relaxing bath, but Dr. Marks explains it's much deeper than that. It's about prioritizing your own needs, physical, emotional, and mental, so you can nurture your sense of self. For women over 50, this is a common trap. Many of us have spent decades putting others first: kids, partners, colleagues, or aging parents. By the time you reach this stage, you might realize you've lost touch with what makes you, you. Imagine a woman named Sarah who spent years as a devoted mom and employee. At 53, with her kids grown and her job winding down, she felt like a stranger to herself. She'd given so much to others that she didn't know what she enjoyed anymore. Dr. Marks points out that neglecting self-care isn't just about skipping workouts or healthy meals. It's about forgetting to invest in your own identity. Without that, you can feel invisible, even to yourself, and that's a lonely place to be. What does this look like in daily life? Maybe you're saying yes to every family request, even when you're exhausted, or you're skipping your morning walk because you're too busy helping someone else. Over time, this chips away at your energy and self-worth. Dr. Marks cites research from the American Psychological Association, which shows that women who prioritize self-care through exercise, hobbies, or even quiet reflection report lower stress and higher life satisfaction. Self-care is like filling your own cup first, so you have something to share with others. Without it, you're running on empty, and loneliness creeps in. The second mistake Dr. Marks warns about is avoiding vulnerability. Think about the last time you shared something real with someone, not just small talk, but your true feelings, like a fear or a hope. If that feels hard, you're not alone. Many women hesitate to open up, worried about being judged or seeming weak. Dr. Marks explains that this fear often comes from cultural expectations or past experiences where emotions were dismissed. But here's the key. Vulnerability is the foundation of connection. When you hide your true self, you build walls that keep others out, even if that's not what you want. Picture a woman named Emily, who was 56 and recently widowed. She didn't want to burden her friends with her grief, so she put on a brave face. But keeping her pain inside only made her feel more isolated. When she finally shared her feelings with a close friend, she found they grew closer as her friend opened up about her own struggles. Dr. Marks draws on research, like studies from Dr. Brené Brown, who says vulnerability is the courage to be seen as you are. For women over 50, this can feel especially daunting. You might think you're supposed to have everything figured out by now. But Dr. Marks reminds us that no one does, and sharing your authentic self invites others to do the same. A 2017 study in social science and medicine found that people who engage in open, honest communication have stronger social bonds and lower loneliness. Avoiding vulnerability might protect you from rejection, but it also blocks the closeness you're craving. The third mistake Dr. Marks highlights is over-relying on social media for connection. How many times have you scrolled through Instagram or Facebook, hoping it would lift your spirits, only to feel worse? Social media can feel like a lifeline, especially if you're physically distant from loved ones. But Dr. Marks teaches that it's a poor substitute for real connection. Likes and comments might give you a quick boost, but they don't fill the void of meaningful relationships. A 2019 study in The Lancet found that excessive social media use is linked to higher loneliness and depression, particularly in women. Why? Because those picture-perfect posts, friends on vacation, family celebrations, can make you feel like everyone else is living a better, more connected life. Consider a woman named Lisa, who was 51 and spent hours each day on social media. She'd see posts from her old college friends who seemed to have it all together: beautiful homes, happy families, exciting travels. Meanwhile, Lisa was navigating a recent job loss and felt like she was falling behind. Dr. Marks helped her see that those posts were just highlights, not the full story. When Lisa started reaching out for real conversations, phone calls, coffee dates, she felt a shift. Social media can be a tool to stay in touch, but Dr. Marks stresses it should never replace face-to-face or heartfelt interactions. The fourth mistake is staying in your comfort zone. Dr. Marks explains that after 50, it's easy to settle into routines, same hobbies, same people, same places. But sticking to what's familiar limits your chances to grow and connect. Trying something new, like a cooking class or a book club, can feel intimidating, especially if you think, "I'm too old for this," or "what if I don't fit in?" But Dr. Marks teaches that stepping out of your comfort zone is where magic happens. A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows that engaging in new activities boosts mood and social connectedness. It's not just about learning a skill. It's about meeting people who share your interests. Take Jane, a 59-year-old retiree who felt stuck after her kids moved away. She'd always loved music, but never had time to pursue it. Following Dr. Marks' advice, she joined a local choir. At first, she was nervous. She hadn't sung in years, and everyone seemed so confident. But over time, she not only rediscovered her passion, but also made friends who invited her to social events. That one step outside her comfort zone opened up a new world. Dr. Marks encourages small risks, like signing up for a workshop or volunteering, to spark new connections. The fifth mistake Dr. Marks points out is ignoring mental health. Loneliness often intertwines with anxiety, depression, or stress, especially for women over 50. Menopause can bring hormonal shifts that affect mood, and life changes can trigger feelings of loss or uncertainty. Dr. Marks explains that ignoring these feelings, brushing them off as just a phase or thinking you should handle them alone, can deepen loneliness. A 2020 study in Menopause Journal found that women in perimenopause or postmenopause are up to 3 times more likely to experience depression. Mental health is as critical as physical health, yet it's often overlooked. Imagine a woman named Patricia, who was 57 and felt overwhelmed after a divorce. She thought she could tough it out, but her sadness grew, making it hard to reach out to friends. Dr. Marks' teachings helped her see that seeking help, like therapy or mindfulness, wasn't a sign of weakness, but a step toward healing. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which Dr. Marks often recommends, can reduce loneliness by 20–30%, according to a 2018 study in the Journal of Clinical Psychiatry. Ignoring mental health keeps you stuck. Addressing it sets you free. So, how do we put Dr. Marks' teachings into action? Let's break it down with practical steps to overcome loneliness. First, prioritize self-care. Dr. Marks suggests starting small, maybe a 10-minute walk each morning, or writing down 3 things you're grateful for. A study in the Journal of Health Psychology shows that even brief physical activity reduces stress and loneliness. You could also try a hobby like painting or gardening to reconnect with what lights you up. Second, embrace vulnerability. Share something real with a trusted friend or join a support group. Dr. Marks points to resources like the National Alliance on Mental Illness, which lists local groups for women. Third, rethink social media. Dr. Marks advises setting a time limit, say 30 minutes a day, and using the rest of that time for real-world connections, like calling a friend or meeting for lunch. A University of Pennsylvania study found that cutting social media use to 30 minutes daily improved well-being. Fourth, step out of your comfort zone. Dr. Marks recommends trying one new activity like a dance class or volunteering. Platforms like meetup.com can help you find local groups. Finally, prioritize mental health. If you're struggling, consider therapy or mindfulness apps like Headspace, which Dr. Marks often suggests. Her book, Why Am I So Anxious?, offers tools to manage stress and build resilience. Let's reflect for a moment. Which of these mistakes, neglecting self-care, avoiding vulnerability, over-relying on social media, staying in your comfort zone, or ignoring mental health, hits home for you? Dr. Marks' teachings show that you don't need to change everything at once. Start with one small step. Maybe it's calling a friend to share how you're feeling. Maybe it's signing up for a class or downloading a meditation app. Write down your goal and commit to it. Research shows specific goals boost success by 40%. As we close, remember that loneliness doesn't have to define your life after 50. Dr. Tracey Marks' insights remind us that this can be a time of growth, connection, and joy. You've got the wisdom and strength to build a life you love. So, what's your next step? Share it in the comments and pass this video along to someone who might need it. Let's keep learning from experts like Dr. Marks to live healthier, happier lives.